This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, never heard that before.
Oh, it's every week.
She has a loud voice now. I think her voice is getting louder. So it is, hi Al, welcome.
Hello.
Al, I have a surprise for you tonight. Hopefully she will show up tonight. There is a woman who's big in the PV advocate community, and she's supposed to be joining us. Her name is Jean Deitch. Jean Deitch. And she had promised to come, and as fate would have it, her sister-in-law has CLL. So I hope these ladies can join us as promised. And I know that Farron may be joining us and a few other people. So let's see how it goes. In the meantime, Lonnie, would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Sure. My name is Lonnie Yoder. I live in Harrisonburg, Virginia, the beautiful Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. Our family has lived here for 30 years. I'm a native of the state of Iowa. I was diagnosed with CLL in May of 2019. It was caught actually in an annual physical. I really don't have a lot of symptoms at this point other than I bruise easily. There's a history of CLL in my family. Both my paternal grandfather and my father had CLL late in their lives, and then I also have a first cousin who had CLL. So I'm happy to be here and look forward to getting to know all of you. And I'm in watch and wait, but I want to learn all I can at this point because I know things can change.
Well, welcome.
We're just going to go around and introduce ourselves and then open up the floor for people to share what they want to share and ask what they want to ask. Al, would you
I'm
like
Al
to?
Rubalcaba. Yeah, Al Rubalcaba. Down here in Tucson, Arizona. I was diagnosed with a polycythemia vera last year in January.
Thank you. I was just saying if that woman had written it, but she hasn't. Okay, I'm Michelle Nadine Baker. I live in Boston and I have CLL and I was diagnosed back in 2012. Richard?
Good. Well, I'm Richard Farmer. I live in Maine and I have multiple myeloma cancer, and I was diagnosed about 8 years ago, and I'm still here. And I'm glad to be here. So I'm one of the moderators, and thanks everybody for coming.
Sally?
My name is Sally. I live in Santa Barbara, California. I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma in June of 2018 and had my stem cell transplant in February of 2019, and I'm still here.
Welcome.
You have Susan?
Hi again, Sally.
Hi again.
Susan is the token Canadian, it seems. At least I've never seen another Canadian
So far.
here. So far, right, well. I was diagnosed with CLL in May of 2019 at just our yearly checkup, and he went, oh, your blood counts are kind of high. Okay. And every watch and wait. That sounds good. Stage 0, watch and wait. So how long is it since then? It's almost May 2021. So I guess I've had just over 2 years of watch and wait. And I'm probably going to start treatment in April. After the last meeting, the people that were here were talking, we're talking about venetoclax and gazeba, or is that the same thing?
Susan, we're going to get to that after we have everyone introduce themselves. We'll get to the
Okay.
person's exact concerns for tonight, and I'd love to get back to you on that because I know that some other people who had said they wanted to join us will also have questions too.
Oh, great. Okay.
Kenny, I don't think we've heard from you yet.
You almost forgot about me. It's because I've been gone so much lately. I get
We
it.
can't forget you,
I-
Kenny.
I forgot about me too. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Kenny. I am the executive director of a nonprofit called Throat and Bones for a Cure. We encourage blood cancer patients to stay healthy and active through treatment. Our program's focused on education panels, and a developing coaching network for all blood cancer patients. So I guess I'm also another one of the hosts, which just means that Rick really likes the fact that I have a lot of Facebook followers, I think. I'm not sure it has anything to do with my skills. But it's lovely to see you all, and I hate that I missed last month because it sounds like you guys had a full house. So it sounds like a lot of fun. The past 2 months, I've actually missed out a decent amount because I had surgery. Actually, the day after, I think, our meeting in January, and then in February, I was just probably dealing with the aftermath of all of that and all this stuff that I didn't do because of the surgery, and so it was just sort of playing catch up. So, anyways, lovely to see you.
It's great to have you back, Kenny. Things just weren't the same.
That's right. I brought beer.
Wow, that's good.
I didn't bring enough for everyone though, but I'm happy to pass it around.
Only if we sip it with masks, right?
Yeah,
I
I haven't had the shot yet. Sorry, I'm on the list. So,
I'm waiting for my wine to be delivered.
right.
And Lydia, I don't see your face. Oh, cheers, Susan. Lydia, I do not see your face. Would you like to introduce yourself to everyone, either just by audio, or if you want to show us your lovely face as well?
Dun, dun.
Oh, Lydia, your mic is on.
Hey, Lydia, we're glad you made it.
Maybe Lydia stepped.
She's getting her wine.
Spraying the wine. Exactly.
Smart lady.
She may have, maybe she left the room for a second or is trying to figure out how to get her camera on. Lydia, please let us know, well, if you can hear me, that you're there, or just pop onto the screen. But in the meantime, we've had a lot of progress this last month, and the vaccine, we have yet another one that's been approved. I have not had it yet. I'm thankfully too young, and apparently one cancer isn't enough to be considered that you need it. So, but who here, I'm just curious, raise a hands, who has had it? And both shots or just one?
Two.
Oh, you show offs, you. Susan, have you had it yet? No.
Yeah, I've heard Canada's a little bit
Canada
slower.
is slow, and Manitoba is even slower than, we're still at 95 years old and older. Honestly, and if you live up north and you're indigenous, well, then you can get it, but all I keep hearing on the Canadian news is we got lots of doses coming, but I don't know who's getting them because it's not me.
Yeah, I've got a
Well,
buddy
in
of mine
California, they gave doses to everybody in all the prisons and everything before they're giving it to the teachers.
I think they might have done that here too, because they say they're on because they're in such close quarters, And that's why our up north indigenous people got it first. They're apparently higher risk. So,
But that means our children can't go back to school.
oh,
So
our kids are in school though. They don't figure that it's,
Ours aren't.
will you
Ours
give
are
me,
still at home and on videos.
excuse me 1 second, ladies. I just want to see, Lydia, are you having some settings issues? And
oh,
if
how
you
do I
can
shut
hear
that
me,
off?
that there's a little wheel up the top of your screen that can help set settings if you're not being able to get your camera working or your microphone. There's like a little sunburst wheel up, at least on my screen, it's in the upper right.
It's called a settings guide.
Oh, there you are.
There she
There
is.
you is. Dun, dun,
There you are.
dun.
Hey, Lydia.
Welcome.
Hi, Lydia. We were waiting for you.
Maybe she
I
can't
never
hear
know
us.
where to.
Hey, Lydia. Can you hear us?
Maybe
Not yet.
not.
Yes, no. Okay, I'm gonna send her a message and then if let's try this and then we'll see. Oops, I don't have her here.
No, she just muted herself, or you did?
No, I didn't. Oops.
She's there. I see her.
There we are. Hey, Lydia.
Yes. Yeah,
Hey,
we're
what's
all.
going on?
I
She
just wrote
doesn't
her.
look like she feels good.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think she
No.
can hear us, but let me see if Kenny, can you help with that? Let me see. You'll have to
I'm
hold
not
on
sure if I
a
can.
second.
I don't know how to get her responsive if she doesn't want to be responsive. So I think maybe if she feels like she needs to reach out, I think we'll just wait for her to reach
Oops.
out.
Did I lose somebody? Okay. All right. So now we have someone else. Perhaps that's Lydia trying to get in. Well, anyway. So
oh, where'd you go?
Lonnie, what we do is we try to find out a little bit about each other and then see if there is anything people would like to share with what they'd like to get out of tonight's meeting. If there's something that is concerning them about what they have, and that can be anything from medically, physically, meaning, or wellness, or emotionally, mental health. We got it all going on here. Richard's a psychologist. Kenny's a health and wellness coach. Tom Henry, who's usually with us, who's somewhere on the road, right, Kenny? Between here and New Orleans, I think.
He's went to he went to Louisiana. That's right.
And he may call in, but he's a pharmacist. So we try to cover it all. So actually, Al, would you like to share tonight and we can show Lonnie how we do it?
Sure. Okay. So I was talking to Richard about this earlier. So the company I worked for 25 years before they changed the corporation there, my time was going in at 5 in the morning. So that means I was getting up like at about 3:30, a quarter to 4 for years. And I would be home by, my day would end at 1:30. So I'd be home 2:30, depending on the weather. I'd go for a hike or a bike ride or something. In the summer, just probably come home, jump in the pool, grab a beer, and then come back inside. Do the normal thing. So for years, like I said, I was waking up like that. And now it's like I get up about 4 or 5 in the morning, and when I wake up, I could be wide awake. I'm like ready to go. And so I can't fall back to sleep. So we have a TV in our room, and my wife doesn't mind. So I'll turn the TV on and watch the early news, and I lay around trying to go back to sleep for maybe about an hour. But once I do go back to sleep, I get up about 7:30, 8, and after that it's just so hard for me. I don't even want to get up out of bed. So I was wondering if anybody else has experienced any of this. I don't know if it's got to do with my timing, my internal clock going back, or the medication. I really don't know, but and then once I do get up about 7:30 or 8, it takes me about an hour before I could get going again.
Yep. Yep. Well, Al, your whole body went back to sleep, and all of the things that you've taken, especially the medications, have kind of reached a pinnacle and then have dropped off, and you've kind of gone like a seesaw, uh, back and forth for a period of time. So it's pretty normal, just physiologically, that your body would react that way. It's frustrating, I'm sure, especially waking up expecting to go to work. Your body is, and then that's not happening, and so you end up messing around, and then falling back asleep, and off you go.
Yeah.
But it's completely normal.
So really, by the time I get going, it's not probably till after 10.
Yeah, yeah. Al, have you talked to your physician about the meds that you're taking?
No, I have not. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That might be one place to start. If you're taking meds just before normal sleep time for you, you think about it on a cycle. It's good for so many hours or minutes, and you might want to talk to that person to see whether or not there's an adjustment if you are taking something that helps with the sleep process.
Yeah. The only meds I take is the Hydrea for what I have, and I take those in the morning
Yeah.
with breakfast. After that, I normally don't take anything. Now I take the D and allergy medicine, but
Yeah.
we did talk about the medical marijuana, the edibles.
Yeah.
I did try those, the indica, which is the more relaxing one, and I really don't enjoy those because it almost intensifies the symptoms that I'm experiencing already with what I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you took enough of them.
I'm sorry?
So you're sure you took enough of them?
You know, they're 10 milligrams and I cut them in eighths. I'm a lightweight. Like I don't even do it. I don't even take a quarter of it because I don't
I
like the
take
feeling.
3 of them.
But see,
I
Sally
wish-
likes to party.
I wish I could.
I am.
Yeah, well, Al, you might want to think about, that's a pretty small dose. You might want to think about upping that a little bit, see if that helps.
Well, like I said, it intensifies the symptoms for the PV, which I have.
Yeah.
And it just makes me groggier the next day.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Has your
All I know is that I'm going to Sally's place.
But mine are gummies.
that's okay.
They're wonderful.
Al, has your oncologist suggested anything else?
No. We did talk about the edibles, and they said that was fine, but she did say, you need to be careful. But like I said, I'm a lightweight. I cut those things in 16ths. One gummy bear will last me all week. I mean, I'm talking like just chewing an ear or an arm off.
Lucky it's not an Easter bunny.
Little cannibalism there too of gummy bears, I guess, huh?
I'm like imagining there's like tiny little ears of corn and out.
So come back to that discussion because that might be something we can discuss a little more and something I want to share from another group that I'm in. It is the CLL group. I know. I see Kenny's eyes. I knew the mind was going to be going on that one. So,
You can let me
Lonnie,
go grab something.
is there anything, Lonnie, in particular? You were saying that you're in watch and wait, but that can last, you know, that can last for, I've heard someone that waited 18 years in watch and wait before they needed treatment. And I've also heard of people who need treatment immediately. I've like heard the whole thing. One of our members needed his treatment immediately. So in watch and wait, do you know where you are?
So I've had the FISH test and the test for whether I'm mutated or not, and I came out on the good side of all of those, according to my oncologist. So I'm not anticipating treatment soon, but I've learned enough and read enough to know that every case is unique.
Right.
And so I'm trying to understand my own situation as well as I can, plus learn from others. So yeah, I really don't have anything urgent at this point in time, other than wanting to be in a support group and wanting to learn and contribute what I can.
Well, thank you. And hopefully you will learn. It's great to have you here. And do you watch, so are you on anything else that's been giving you information, like, not to plug Patient Power, but like Patient Power, which has a lot of programs?
Yes. I'm very active on Patient Power. We're with Patient Power. I watch most of the webinars and events. I have found that very helpful.
Great. Well, we have a town hall coming up on March 20th, just about CLL. That'll have a lot of CLL experts on it. So sorry, I didn't mean to plug Patient Power, just, but it will be very helpful for CLL and be telling us the latest in treatments. And also, Lonnie, in your own education, it would be great if you, do you know your prognostic indicators from your flow cytometry and FISH tests? That's my homework for you, is to find out your prognostic indicators, which you may or may not know, like 11Q or 13P, they sound like that.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Okay, that's good to know. And are you mutated or unmutated? Do you know about that?
I'm mutated.
Lucky you. So those are, not that you want any of it, but it's great that you don't have any of those. So that's wonderful. You're already ahead of the curve here. Or to be in back of the curve. I don't know what it would be, below the curve. But that's wonderful to hear. Okay, well, if you think of anything along the way, please let us know here tonight, and we will try to, as we're going along, explain things to CLL patients here when we're talking about things. Lydia, can you hear us yet?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm not putting the video on. I'm in bed, laying down.
Okay, that's fine. So if you want to introduce yourself, where you are, and what you can, since you can finally hear us. We've gone around to everyone, and now it's your turn.
I was diagnosed. I'm Lydia. I was diagnosed 3 years ago. I haven't had treatment yet. But my major hurdle is my mental state with having this disease. I'm currently on Lexapro and Klonopin, which I think is working slowly, but I'm having a hard time. Hopefully, it's only been 2 weeks with the Lexapro, and hopefully it'll work within time. I still haven't accepted that I have this disease. It's really scary. I have awful thoughts about it. I think I'm gonna get the worst case scenario. Every day I get up scared, full of anxiety, and I right away have to take a Klonopin. I don't know what happy is anymore. I mean, I forgot what that is. I just struggle with it every day. I don't know what else to say. It's just been really hard for me.
You actually sound better this meeting than last meeting, Lydia. Your voice sounds
Stronger,
more so. What was that?
stronger.
Yes, absolutely. Stronger and more self-assured, actually. But big hug out to you. And let's hear, please, if anyone has any thoughts for Lydia from their own journeys and how they got past this, or if they went through this. Richard, our resident man with a leather couch. Oh, can you turn on your microphone? Sorry.
Hey, Lydia, how you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
you're kind of in bed, so it sort of tells me that you're really tired or kind of stressed out or looking to kind of go to sleep and forget about everything. What do you think?
Yeah, when I'm sleeping and I don't feel anything, I mean, it's
There you
sad
go.
to say, but you know, when you're sleeping and you don't feel anything, that that's when I'm the happiest.
Okay.
When I don't have to go through these struggles every day of
Right.
my mentality, you know, going to CLL every freaking minute. I'm just sick of it for
Yeah.
these past 3 years because the unknown of what this disease is going to do to me really, really is affecting my mind.
Hey, Lydia, did we talk about treatment that you were pursuing? 3 years is a long time.
Um, Dr. Lamana thought that I was gonna need treatment at the end of last year, but my disease she called it halted. No, she called it plateaued.
And that's a good
So
CLL. You don't want it. So, yeah, Richard, with CLL, I waited, I mean, everyone waits a different amount of time. Some people wait 10, 12, 18 years.
Huh?
And Lydia, I know you had sent me your numbers the other day, and I'm sorry, I meant to print them out for this, and I wanted Tom to also see them. But I don't know, were you with us? And I don't know if you could hear us yet. He's on the road on his way to Louisiana. So we don't know if he'll be joining us tonight, but he would probably be a good person. But it's the numbers you sent, and also Lonnie and Susan will know this. It's more than just the numbers you sent. It's just no two CLLers are alike. Someone may have a low white blood count, but they may have other things that are happening, like their platelets tank below level. I'm trying to think of different people, and they may have a bad genetic marker. Like I was just asking Lonnie about his, which he doesn't. He's very fortunate he doesn't have any. Or someone could have something else. I met someone who her white blood count never went up, but she had other levels that were really out of control, either too low or too high, depending on how it's looked at. It's just a very odd disease and how these things happen. But you're in fabulous hands with Dr. Cll Lamana. She is one of the best. As a matter of fact, people travel from all around the world to see her. So she will steer you correctly. Have you talked to her about how this is affecting you every day?
yeah, she knows that how it affects me. I just started seeing a cancer therapist in the same hospital. So she knows about that, and I mean, from the very beginning, she knows that it has affected me really, really bad, and she was always concerned about that. And you know, every time I go into her office, you know, my numbers are not there yet, so my nerves start getting all you know, crazy, and I start crying. I want to be stronger about this. I want to be stronger about this disease, but I don't know what it is that it just affects me so bad. I
It's
don't want to be like,
starting to, I have a friend going through this in another kind of cancer, and she's very much how you are, Lydia, and she's upset a lot and things, crying a lot. And one of the things I had suggested to her, and I know this helped me, was the more I learned about CLL, the more I learned about my CLL, like the questions I was asking Lonnie. Do you know, Lydia, and you, or look this up after, what your genetic markers are or prognostic indicators that you might hear people talk about, like 11q or 13?
when I first saw Dr. Lamana, that she did the fish test and all that, she told me that I was 13q mutated. But then she said that, and this baffled me because after I saw her 3 months after that, she said, don't worry about that. We will repeat it again. She said that I was less than 2% 17p.
That doesn't mean a thing. I mean, if you're less than, you're not. It's, you have to, a certain percentage of your cells have to be in one of these genetic markers for you to be in that marker. So don't worry about that. And if you do question it, request another test on another fish test. But don't worry about that you had, you know, that could be like out of 100,000, that would be, so that would be out of how many ever cells that they tested. And I know my doctor had explained this to me because I had asked a similar thing. But so how do, Sally, how do you handle anxiety?
To be honest with you, I've never had anxiety. I'm a very take control, take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to
I
fix
wish
it
I was
type
like that.
person.
I really
And
wish I was like that.
I
Go
go
ahead.
out and learn everything, like you said, Michelle. I learn absolutely everything about my disease, what treatments are available, where I should go, and literally just do it, get it done, and be happy I'm here.
Well, let's talk about anxiety for a minute, because, you know, I think that's something that all of us, all human beings, certainly share to one degree or another. So, Lydia, you know, one of the things I think you had talked about before was the sense of how do you keep your head busy, involved in something other than your disease? Because here you are tonight in bed, and you know that just tells me that, you know, you're not feeling well tonight.
She's depressed.
Well, you know, it's a sense of what can you do that will help you to be in control. And did we talk about the work that Kenny Caps does at all?
No, I don't think we
Uh,
did. That's actually a really good point, Richard. I mean, one of the things that that our primary focus is to encourage people to stay that have blood cancers before treatment, during treatment, after treatment, is to not just so that you're healthier and look better in a bathing suit. It's also so that you feel better, that you have more confidence, and also it affects your ability to do more. It's just one of those things that one thing begats another thing begats another. It just keeps going. Not to sound too biblical, you know what I'm trying to say. It's so, and sometimes, and the hardest part of that, and I'm guessing for you, Lydia, part of that is just sometimes just getting the hell out of bed, and it's tough some days. It just sucks. I get it. I mean, I do get it. I think we all get it. And so some days it's that first step. It's putting your feet on the floor, and that's actually a victory. It really is.
when I do
You know,
that,
yeah. And so you know what? Then you put your feet on the floor. Then you get up and you go to the kitchen and you grab your cup of coffee That's a victory because you did something, right? And then, you set the standard. Like when you know what, today and every day, I'm going to go down to the mailbox and back. That's part of it. But then you try to improve and you get better, right? And before you know it, you're actually you're taking that a step farther and saying, I'm going to walk around the block. And then I'm going to do that at least 5 days this week. I'm going to do that. You did it 5 days.
I
And that's
do.
yeah. Well, see, those are things, and then you step it up, and you make it better, and you make that your target. Those are your goals, and you know what they end up doing? They end up replacing a lot of those negative feelings about your inadequacies, your negative feelings about I can't do this shit, but you can. You can,
Exactly.
and because some days, whether you have a cancer or not, for just about the entire world, some days it's just about doing that thing, whatever that thing is, and accomplishing. And so your accomplishment is what you decide it's going to be. That doesn't mean you go from sitting in your bed and feeling that I just can't do it to, I don't know, running a marathon, but somewhere in between, right? The parts that you know you can do, and then the parts you get excited about, because sometimes maybe the part you're excited about isn't the process of getting there, it's the end product. But in getting there, you realize, hey, this is pretty cool too. Like I'm doing this. This is me. Like this is all me. And so I find a way to make that happen. And so yeah, Richard's right. So part of a big chunk of what we're doing is in trying to encourage you to do those things, to encourage you every day and finding what it is that motivates you to get to that point and regularly make that a part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But also is to encourage your healthcare providers, people like Richard and people like me, people like oncologists and nurse practitioners and physiologists and physical therapists to collaborate. Because most of the oncologists that I talk to, they want to, and who are part of our education panels, they wish that they could write a prescription for you to do a thing, to talk to somebody like me, to talk to somebody who gets you active and feeling better. Because honestly, feeling physically better is part of feeling mentally better and feeling like I can do this. It's just another thing. And that's not to say that there won't be days that suck, because there will. It just, but that comes with a lot of things in life. Some days just blow, not to be too technical.
But Lydia, you can't see yourself, but I can see you. And but part of what I keep hearing going on in my head is, gee, I wish she'd smile. I wish her eyes were open a little bit more, and she wasn't looking so down in the dumps. That there you go. That there's a sense of, hey, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay because I can take control. I don't have to allow this disease or anything really to be controlling me. I'm the one that's in control. And one of the things, man, I'd sure like to see you put a smile on those lips and those eyes just kind of explode and say, I'm okay, because you are okay. And Kenny's right. I'm a big list maker, and so I often tell people, go make a list of what you did today and what made you feel good today, and how can you put some stars next to that list, and how can you add to that star list and take that crap off of the other list. You don't have to feel bad. It's not a have to. You can feel good, but you got to want to do it.
It's a
And the
choice.
first thing starts with a nice smile. How about a nice smile? There you go. You have a beautiful
Thank
smile.
you. Thank you, Richard.
Yeah. There you go.
What can I say one thing about my numbers that shocked me? I went from 147 WB white blood cell count to 177.
That's from what to what?
From 147 to 177.
How long? That's a big jump, actually. It's when you start doubling your blood count like every 3 months. And that's a very small percentage of an increase. It depends on if you're very close to treatment or not, but it also depends, like I said, on all your other counts as well. And if you have lymph node, swelling of your lymph nodes, swelling of your spleen, some impinging other organs, and
It's also,
you've bruised, but
Right.
I'm not a doctor, so. But again, Nicole Lamont, and it's good that you're asking, and it's good to learn. All the things. Have you, what to watch out for? And
doctors also look for a trend rather than one particular lab result. Normally, because anything can happen. You could have a cold, and that could change your counts as well. And so, even if you have one bad result, doctors normally won't do anything until the next lab result, and they see if that's a trend or not.
that's
Okay.
correct. But also, if you're fighting off something, your white blood count can go up. And that could be just fighting. So as Sally said, if it's a trend, thank you, Sally, for bringing that up. So if it continues to, or she said you plateaued, plateauing is good because it means you're not getting worse. So
I was
and again,
shocked to hear that people go into the millions with the white blood count. That's shocking. Have you heard of that?
I know of someone who didn't start treatment until she was like, I don't know, 675,000, and someone else that was 800 something thousand. So again, it's just, but everything else might have been fine, So it is important to tell your doctor on everything that you feel, but and what to look out for, and maybe she can help you with that for your flavor of CLL, how she sees her presenting, what it is that you should be concerned about, and maybe that would help too. Like I said, some people get swollen lymph nodes, some don't though. Some have never seen that. So it's good to know what for you she thinks should be something to look out for, but also if have you asked her how long and they don't always know, like would she say, and my doctor never knew this either, how long before treatment until it was getting really close. And you said she said it was going to be, then not, right?
Yeah, she thought that I was gonna need treatment, and so far nothing. When I saw her, she called me boring and sent me home.
I'd like to
Called
be
you
boring.
boring?
Well, actually, I'm glad I'm not boring, but I would like to be boring when it comes to my CLL.
Were you smiling, Linda? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
You put
I
on,
like that part.
let's see that beautiful smile again. Because if you go into the doctor's office with that, she's not going to say, "Hey, lady, you're boring." Nobody's boring.
My achievement
I
today
like
was
the
a new smartwatch.
in her office.
So, Al,
Hello.
what's helped you? Because when you came the first time you were with us, you seemed to be very anxious, and now you seem
Yeah.
you've evolved.
Well, yeah, I'm here listening to this, and like I told Lydia the first time she was on there, she's not alone. We've all been through this. And my symptoms with my medication, it's like a roller coaster. They're up and down. 1 hour I feel great, I'm doing something. The next hour I got to come in and lay on the couch. And every day is like that. Some days the hours are longer, I could go further, but the next day I'm paying for it and I'm on the couch all day. And I get tired of waking up like this. And I sometimes just like, I want to go to sleep and not wake up. I sometimes maybe just want to like take a drive, listen to good music and not have to stop. Um, but we just keep going. But there are times where I come to a halt and I get some terrible thoughts. But Again, the next hour is better. The next 4 hours might be better. I just don't know. I cannot schedule a day. I don't know what my day's going to be like. If I can't do it that day, I'll do it the next day. My project, something that I could have done in a day, has taken me like over a week, but I got it done. And I just continue doing stuff around the house. I tell my wife I feel like I work at Denny's as much as I wash dishes.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, Al, a question for you. Have you ever gotten in the car and just driven and just not stopped?
I would like to do that, is what I was saying. Yeah, I
But
would.
you've never actually done that.
Yeah, I've gone for long drives, not by myself, I mean, for vacation and, or getaways, weekend getaways. Yeah, we've gone for long drives, but it's just, it's like you want to take a trip somewhere and not look back,
Pretty
Um,
Are you
scary.
on medication, Al?
am I on medication? Yes, I
Yes.
am. Yes, I am. Yeah,
Do you mind me asking what kind?
I'm on hydroxyurea. It's just to balance my numbers out. Um, I'm from listening to Tom, is you don't have enough of my body creates too many of. So
Okay.
my body creates too many platelets and too many white blood cells. So this hydrea is supposed to slow it down. When I walk,
Okay.
when I get up and walk, I feel like I'm walking on a boat. I feel my tail end just like swishing back and forth. I have not fallen, but every time I go for a checkup or talk to my doctor at Mayo, that's one of the questions. How many times have I fallen? I've never fallen, but I don't understand. I didn't understand why they were always asking me that, but I guess that's one of the things is I feel like I'm seasick a lot.
So Lydia, Al has something that different from us. Al
Oh,
does,
I was just gonna ask him. Maybe he has
Yeah.
CLL.
No,
is it
no, I have
different?
polycythemia vera. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a blood cancer, but it's different.
I see.
So Lydia, when you were asking meds, did you mean CLL treatment drugs, or did you mean for depression or anxiety?
I'm sorry. Can you say?
When you were asking about meds, were you interested more in depression and anxiety types of meds or CLL treatment drugs?
The CLL treatment drugs. I'm not afraid of the because I'm taking Lexapro and anxiety meds right now because, it's really bad. And I've been feeling a little bit better. So I think it's kind of kicking in a little bit. It's only been 2 weeks with the Lexapro. So I've been feeling little by little bit better. But the CLL treatments is what triggers me the most. I'm terrified of them because I've never had a CLL treatment, so it's gonna make me feel like that. It's my first time, with all this, and it's just really scary.
It,
But then,
it,
but then again, you don't know. Everybody reacts different, so you're not gonna know until you do it.
yes,
And forgive me if I'm stupid, since I'm not a I'm just what treatment have they specifically recommended for you that you're so I mean is there I don't want to rephrase that, is there a specific treatment that you're afraid of or just anything?
Well, me,
Hmm.
I'm afraid of all the treatments, venetoclax or ibrutinib, or all those treatments. I'm afraid of because I never had any of them.
it's fear of the unknown.
I get
Yes,
it,
just
sure,
because.
yeah, yeah. But I know plenty of people that have been on those and really notice hardly any side effects whatsoever. So,
Yeah,
and
but
they sort of
I've heard of
claiming,
a lot of people on ibrutinib that has affected their heart, atrial fibrillation, and I hear that a lot.
We had
although
some,
isn't it, Michelle, is that typically more in older folks that typically that have those reactions, those side effects?
no, It's just, they haven't quite figured out why some and not others. I know someone who's been on it 5 years on ibrutinib, and she's not had anything bad. We lost, someone popped out, and I feel badly in that I did not say hello, but we were busy listening to you, Lydia.
It was Lynn.
Yeah.
It was Lynn.
Yeah.
We have Daniel Garza with us, and I want to come back to you, Lydia, on that. Daniel, would you like to, we're all here, we've all introduced ourselves. Would you like to introduce yourself and let us know what kind of blood cancer you have and where you are?
Sure. Hi, I'm Daniel G. Garza out of Laguna Beach, California, and I was diagnosed with anal cancer back in May 5th of 2015.
All right. Welcome, man. Good seeing you again. I haven't seen you in a couple of years, actually, in
Yeah.
person. Anyway.
Thanks for
Big welcome to you too, Daniel. I just want to say this is a blood cancer group, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I thought you looked familiar, Daniel. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
know you. How are you? We love it. It is so
We love
great to see
seeing
you. I'll put my camera on. But this is a blood cancer group. So I would love for you to come into our Speaking Freely group, which is is next Thursday. Yes, the third. No, wait a minute. This is the first Thursday. Speaking
This is the
Freely
first
third
one.
Thursday. So come on into the third Thursday, which is a group to speak about your cancer, anything but treatment, which I know you are very good at.
I don't know who's speaking though, but yes, I will see you guys back on the third
Rick
Thursday.
is speaking.
Oh my gosh. It's Rick
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's just I don't see the picture, so I didn't see who was speaking.
Most
Okay,
people
I won't
can
interrupt. I'll see you guys
Oh,
next
wait.
time.
One more
Yeah,
thing, Daniel.
come on in the third
With the blood cancer.
Thursday.
You
Yeah.
need to invite them here.
Yeah, and if you know anybody with a blood cancer, send them to this one, the first Thursday. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Maybe we should have guest appearances like every time,
I agree. I think bring them on. See how the other half live. Yeah, that's right. I think that's fantastic. I met Daniel at Healthy Voices in Dallas a couple of years ago. I sat next to him at breakfast on the first day, or the first day of the actual conference. I actually had gotten there a couple of days earlier because I had a couple other things that were going on. But I actually still tell the story about the first time I met him because he was explaining how he was sort of a patient advocate in several different ways, but he was also, he had multiple disabilities. And so he said he was HIV positive, he had anal cancer, but in addition to those, he was an actor, Mexican, and gay. So he had all these disabilities working against him. I thought that was one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. I mean, it was obvious he practiced it because he ripped it off. But
he uses a lot of self-deprecating humor.
He does.
And he's actually funny.
Yeah, he is.
Does he sing too? No.
He does a little bit, but yeah, he does. He did do some things. I think a little bit. He does a little of everything, and also he does some stand up. He said.
So we're not going to make you all sing or unless you really want to.
Good thing. Really good thing.
On treatments, Lydia, a suggestion is, of course, we all worry what they're going to do to us, right? Don't worry about it until you know what it is, and then ask people. And on the different support groups, like the CLL support group on Facebook, everyone's always willing to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. You probably get 20, who knows how many people, 85 people telling you something, and it's going to be different for each of them, right? Someone will tell you it was great, no problem. Someone else, but it doesn't mean it'll be a problem for you. So that's my suggestion, because I used to worry too, or used to worry, why aren't I being treated yet? Some of the things you're saying, because that's the weird part about CLL. It's hard waiting for treatment of the unknown, right? Like you said, and you don't know what it'll be. But that's with a lot of them now, because research is just going at warp speed, which is great for us because more and more new things come out. And since you've been diagnosed, things have come out in that time period in the years that weren't out before. Even when I was on treatment, new things came out that they didn't have when I started treatment. And I know, Kenny, you and Richard, you had some pretty new stuff, right, for treatment or not?
Oh, it's some insanely new stuff. In fact, they were just talking about, I'm actually on maintenance therapy right now, and Lydia, I have myeloma. I don't have CLL. But when I was diagnosed and first started treatment, I had what was sort of the holy trinity of myeloma medications, which is Revlimid, dexamethasone, and Velcade.
Velcade.
Yep, right. And so that was the go-to starting point, because Revlimid was really the first myeloma targeted specific drug that came out, because it worked. Also, it was a lot less toxic than melphalan, which was one that was used a lot for that, but certainly considerably less toxic. But since that time, and it's only been 6.5 years, there were, I think there's been at least 2 or 3 drugs approved, FDA approved, coming out, and
6.
6, yeah, approved in that time. Insane. I mean, a number. I mean, so the challenge now is like, where do you start? I mean, and then you go into the whole CAR T thing, which is a whole other world of potential.
You also have BITE.
Right, exactly. So there's so many things. So you bring in the genetic component too. That's right. So I mean, I guess the most thing is that, man, there's so many options out there, and if one doesn't work, then you go to the other way. And sure, there can be some negative reactions and stuff, but to be honest with you, you can have negative reactions to the materials that you have in your pants. I mean, I hope you don't, but that could be a problem.
2.5 hours.
Yeah,
Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy, the heat. Oh, sorry, guys. My husband's asking
I didn't know
what's
how
on
else
TV.
Are they in our group?
There. Yeah, but bring it on. I mean, if she's part of the story, then she's part of the story. But absolutely. But anyways, I mean, truthfully, honestly, there are so many options. So Michelle's right. There's a way to do it, and maybe you do it in baby steps. Maybe you back up. Maybe you do it in baby steps. I don't know. I have to admit, there are some things in my life, not surprisingly, that I'm probably I'm more of a do as I say and not as I do kind of a person. I tend to sort of jump in. Yep, let's do this. All right, we make a decision, move, go. Partly it's because I'm impatient, because I'm ready to find that next thing, and then I will go that way until I hit a wall, and then I go, okay, don't go that way anymore, and then I turn around and let's try a different way.
And turn left.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of full on until that doesn't work. But that's not for everybody, and maybe that's not the most prudent route to take. Sometimes it's just finding out what's your next step. And so maybe your next step is making a decision that you're going to, I don't know, just find out what all your options are, particularly to you. What are your options? Just finding out. And then you say, okay, what's the softest, easiest, freshest step that I can take towards that? And then you make your list, right? I mean, and that's where you go. And so, tonight it's late. It's time to go to bed soon, and so forth. But maybe the first thing you do tomorrow is you start making that list of what's next, and maybe that's what it is. And that's a step. That's kind of how I work. And I know not everybody works the way I work, but that's how I work. Is preparing for the next day. If I've got a thing coming up the next morning, preparing for that next day, getting ready for it, reviewing what I've got going on. If I've got a big run in the morning, then you make sure everything's laid out so that I don't have to worry about getting up and do it. Making sure the coffee pot's set so that it goes off without me thinking about it. Same thing, make a list of the little things that are going to come next. Maybe that's what it is. And don't make it a big list, like maybe 3 things, that you're going to do. Because if you make it more than that, then it gets overwhelming. You go, oh shit, I can't do that. Because it looks like that's the whole thing you got to do. And you don't have to take off the big bite. It's a little one. That's it.
Set yourself up to succeed.
Exactly. And get excited about succeeding. Like, I can do that. Even hit that low-hanging fruit stuff. I mean, low-hanging fruit, if you make a list and on your list, you say, the first one is make another list. Okay, you got that one. That's an easy one. And the next one is, ask the question, call so-and-so to ask questions about what my options are. All right, that's a list. Maybe that's a sub list. And maybe that's enough, because that's a big chunk. That's a big bite. To ask those questions. The little things. But you got to get past it and not just keep ignoring it, because the more you ignore it, the more it goes away. I mean, I'm guilty of doing that too. But sometimes you also have to do that whole suspension of disbelief, meaning that things are going to be okay. And you gotta tell yourself that, because things are going to be okay. Because you know what happens if you do nothing? Nothing. That's what's going to happen.
And
so if you want to change, you gotta take that first step. That's it. Just the first one. That's it. That's the only one. And I'm so tempted to make a ton of like sports related or running related metaphors, and I'm so not going to do that right now. But take that first step. That's as close as I'll come.
But Kenny, just let me reinforce what you've just said. If you don't do anything, then nothing happens. You just sit there like I don't know, you just, nothing's going to happen unless you make it happen. And that's the cool thing, is that all of us have the ability to make it happen. There's not one person in this room right now who is incapable. We're all quite significantly capable. And if we're all following Lydia smiling, because I know she's smiling back there, or she's trying to. If we make it happen, it'll happen. And you can feel some great confidence about that. Make it happen.
Thank you. Thank you all.
we're here for you. Susan, we haven't heard from you much tonight.
Except when I didn't mean for you to.
Well, I was getting excited. I thought Sandra Bullock and some of the other stars were joining us in our group. Same way that Daniel popped in. I thought they were the next ones.
Well, can you see? Can you see my husband back here, way back there at his laptop? So the TV's on here, and we have a Winnipeg Jets hockey team, and they've had several back-to-back games on. So he's asking me what's on the TV, because how come? Anyways.
So
well, I was trying to figure out. I'm looking at my my results.
Well, first of all, you wrote in the chat that you have chronic fatigue.
Yes.
Fibromyalgia, lymphedema.
It's I have lipedema. They're related, but lipedema, it's a disease of the fat cells. People who've had like a lot women who've had breast cancer, they often end up with lymphedema after their surgeries. But mine is lipedema, so it's, some people are born with it. I don't know when I actually started having it, because I was asking my GP for about 10 years why my right leg from the knee to the ankle was like twice as big as my left leg. And he just kind of shrugged it off. And I probably should have changed doctors much sooner, but we've had an issue here in Winnipeg where just getting a GP to see you is a big event. So I just kind of, as long as I had a doctor that was willing to prescribe the medications that I needed for my chronic fatigue and my fibro, I just kept kind of sliding along. until I was actually in California visiting with a friend who'd had breast cancer. And she looked at my legs and she said, well, you know, that's when you might have this. And sure enough, that's what I have. So I have those underlying things. And
So
then I had
and the
CLL.
chronic fatigue could be from your CLL, because that is one of the symptoms. So
Wow. Oh, wow. I was diagnosed with
you
the
had it.
chronic fatigue back in 1989.
Oh, then it's probably not from your CLL, unless
But I
you.
don't know, because my CLL, the doctor didn't tell me about it until, like, it was just a general, my yearly checkup. But that's why I told you about, like, for 10 years I was asking. So maybe I had CLL for a long time too, but my numbers just finally hit the point where he thought maybe I should be going. That's when he sent me to the hematologist. And then, so I guess I saw her for just around a year, and my numbers kept going up. And so then she said, well, maybe I should go see the doctor at Cancer Care. So now I'm seeing the doctor at Cancer Care. But I think my only choice here was like to go on ibrutinib, or it's a 6 month immunolysis. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. But from what doctor, okay, what's his, Tom, the pharmacist, not the doctor, the pharmacist, had said, I've read a lot about the venetoclax and Gazyva in the States. There's so many trials and all that. So I don't know if it was last meeting or the one before. As he said, I should, you know, he gave me some a website to check out these reports, and that treatment is possibly coming in April here. So I told my cancer care doctor that I'll wait for that. It'll be a year rather than the 6 month one that I would start like now. But to me, the studies and everything, and from being on the CLL support group, I mean, yeah, there's been a few. What I do, I searched on venetoclax, like in the CLL support group, and there's way more positives about it than negatives. So that's what
It's been approved for multiple myeloma as well.
oh, okay.
Really? So
For
they
one, for only the T11 transformation or translocation, not for the 414.
Well, what is it? I'm unmutated. Doctor's scritch scratch, you know? So it's like, oh my gosh, what did she write here? So my choice was chlorambucil and the Obin, and a 6 month. But in April, the venetoclax and Obin's coming. So we'll see.
will so that's next month?
Yeah. Yeah. So it just me. Well, I can't travel, and we had trip plans. Like right now, Dave and I should be on a plane to go to the Big Island, but WestJet canceled our flights, so now we have no way to get there. And I can't really go too far now anyway. I don't want to be afraid, but the COVID thing just, that part scares me, like going on a plane and all that kind of stuff. And my doctor said I can't have the vaccine till 6 months after my treatment. So that's like a year and a half from now. So like that kind of makes traveling not such a hot idea, I think, for me.
I'm curious what others feel that the media is now really bringing to our attention whether or not these various vaccines have issues for cancer patients.
I
And
think,
I
Right.
wondered what you thought about that. And I've heard a couple of different viewpoints from the medical community about that. What are you all thinking?
How many already, I forget, how many did their hands up that had the vaccine? Some of you did 2.
Yeah.
So 1, say,
Yep.
but here it's just, who knows, like Sally was saying, you know, like you can't, the kids are out of school. My grandkids are all in school. Our doctors say they're fine to go to school. So they wear
Not in
masks.
California.
Well, they do wear they do have like a age or grade guidelines. Like my granddaughter that's in kindergarten doesn't have to wear a mask. I think after grade 4 and up, they're required to wear a mask. There's so many different rules. Tomorrow or 12/01 March 5th, we've got some relaxing of our COVID restrictions. But there's still, I can't go see my grandkids because one restriction is you can only have 2 people in your home and they got to be the same 2 people. Like it doesn't mean that I can have 2 people come and visit me today and on Sunday have 2 different people. It has to be 2 designated people. You know, like
Consider
these,
yourself lucky you're not in Ireland. In Ireland, they're not allowed to go further than 5 kilometers from their home, and they have people checking on the roads with your driver's license of how far you are from your home. So if you don't have a grocery store within 5 kilometers of your home,
you're in
you're in
trouble.
trouble.
Well, that's the
My
kind of
sister
thing.
lives in Ireland.
very different than Texas.
That's why we
Before,
drink good beer.
before,
Yeah.
I wanted, Sally, I know we haven't gotten to you, to see if there's anything that you would like to talk about tonight.
Did you say me?
Yes, you.
No. I'm happy
You're
listening and learning from everybody else.
That's because you eat 3 gummy bears.
Oh,
yeah.
that's why I'm so relaxed. But I was going to tell Rick that I have taken that step and I got my new smartwatch today, and I'll start with 1,000 steps one week and try and work it up and get my steps going. By May, I want to be doing 5,000 or 6,000 steps a day.
Wait a minute.
Good for
You
you.
have to- I think we got to get Kenny involved here. Kenny?
Kenny wasn't
Kenny-
paying attention.
What did I
Kenny's
do?
way
Were you
too
paying
athletic
attention?
for me.
Did we catch you?
I finally got my smartwatch, and I was going to start 1,000 steps a week and get up to 5,000 or 8,000 by May.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I think that's brilliant. One of the things that we're working with UNC Lineberger Cancer Center, which is connected with Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. They have started up a program called Health Score, and they do something similar where they send out Fitbits to their patients, and it's a 6-month trial program. So once a week, they focus on not just step count, but also different things that on a daily basis do things to slowly strengthen your cardiac response, and then also seeing how you respond to everything else, how you feel, how you sleep, how long you feel active during the day, a whole host of things. So it's useful data for them to see the response while you're undergoing treatment, to see the response to the physical movement and increased ability. And you're doing it right, Sally, by doing it gradually, like focusing on a key number, key data, which is like your step count. And
Well,
that's
like Al
actually,
said, I was very happy being able to get dressed myself 6 months ago
you're right.
after
Yeah,
my stem
absolutely.
cell
That's totally
transplant.
fair.
So,
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. And so you take it in those small doses, and then you hit those increments hitting it. You know, I know that a lot of places I've seen have said, like on the Fitbits, I've seen, what is it, 10,000 steps a day or something like that. Well, that's not reasonable for everybody, at least not to start. You don't go from 1,200 to 10,000 just because you have a Fitbit. That's sort of silly. It doesn't make you do more, but it allows you to progress because you get something to reference what you did before. And also that doesn't mean, all right, I did 2,000 days, so I'll do 3,000 tomorrow. Well, no, that doesn't give you your body the time, because rest is actually a form of training. It's a form of recovery is a part of the process. So just trust the process.
Well, it's nice that it also records how much I sleep, how much is deep sleep, how much is restless, how much is my heart rate. I don't know what, I haven't learned everything it does yet, but.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, and seriously, that's exactly the right thing, Sally. And so you've got the perfect attitude about that. Don't feel, expect a lot of yourself, but and shoot for the moon. Absolutely, 100%. But make sure you're prepared for not hitting it every day, and that's okay too. And recognize that that's a learning opportunity.
Kenny, I have
well,
a question.
It's like I actually did 2,000 the first day and 1,000 the second.
Kenny, I have a question for you. Are there any good websites that you can refer Sally to help, with some initial programs, initial goals?
Well, yeah, sure. Boy, gosh, there's so many. There's actually one that I've seen. Oh gosh, what is it? I think it's called None to One. And I actually don't remember what the one supposed to stands for, but and it's NONE and then two and then ONE, None to One. But the purpose of it is to get it's sort of like, I guess, taking the concept of a couch 5K or couch to 5K, but just to help people get moving. And so that's definitely one I've seen. Now he offers a lot of free stuff I've seen, but he also has stuff that he offers like long-term plans and long-term options. But that's not necessary. Honestly, the main thing is to give yourself tools, resources to get started. Although I will say that coaches are absolutely necessary. I think that's my opinion, and that's not just because I am one. Because I mean, also because I use them myself. I mean, I have a coach, and I've probably had a coach. Probably had coaches on and off since I was 13 years old, regularly, and actually before that, since I was probably 5 or 6. But personal coaches I've had since I was probably 13 or 14, because there's value to it, and that's even when I've been coaching. I coach now. I'm a personal trainer, but I also coach people. I have my own clients, because and the reason why they're so valuable for people even who have done this their entire lives is because we're all human, and sometimes it's not just a motivator, but it's partly an accountability partner. It's also helping you get through that process. In other words, trusting the process till you get that next step, and you go, look what you just did. And that's your motivation to keep going, because you're way far from your potential. And
Myeloma crowd has, because this is Myeloma month, awareness month. It's called Muscles for Myeloma, and there's a challenge, and there's about 800 of us in it, and we all have the app called Move Spring, and we record our steps or our time, and Jenny is promoting us, Alstrom, and I think the goal for the month for the whole team or the challenge is 350,000 steps, for all of us. And, some of us will do 1,000 a week and some will do 10,000. So
I think that's great. And you're right. Little things like that. I have to say, one valuable thing about social media towards fitness is that it's actually encouraged people to interact. Not everybody needs or wants that sort of social influence or pressure to do things, but a lot of folks really enjoy having that opportunity to share the experience. It's just sort of sharing the journey, and that's cool too. And so again, that's a great place to to just do it sometime.
Get
And
off
so
your
I
ass.
applaud you. Absolutely. So when you got, did you get the watch because of the myeloma crowds thing? Did you? That's great.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
good. I mean, good on Jenny
Good for you,
getting that
Sally.
done. That's actually
You know,
she did right.
Amazon.com has everything.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Well,
So
So does
let me
CA. So,
let me just jump in for a second because we're getting towards the end, and I have a little commercial to do. We in the last couple of weeks we finalized this, and we'll be publicizing it much better pretty soon. But we made we have a partnership, collaboration with a fairly well-known theater company in the Bay Area. They've been around since 1985. There are 2 theaters, one in San Francisco, one in Oakland. And we are working together on a program they have called Solo Arts Heal. And it's on our website, and I put it in the chat window, the link. And once a month, we are supposed to source an artist of any kind. We got a few artists, we got a couple of artists in this group. And whatever their performance mode is, they'll do that for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then we'll interview them, and then the audience will speak to them. And the idea is for people to show how they've used performance art of some type or another to help them deal with their condition, their disease. So it may be, it may be poetry, it may be song, or it may be dance, it may be whatever. I will say that this is a very reputable theater company, the Marsh. So it's a great place to spotlight talent. So if any of you know anybody who fits that bill, even if you yourself do not, please have them go to our website, fill in their name, and it's just a great showcase opportunity. And we're excited about it. The first show is going to be on the 24th of March. We're always going to be on the 4th Wednesday of the month, and we have a guy lined up, and we're looking for more people. We have another guy lined up, but I'd like to try and find somebody other than prostate cancer for the in-between, because we don't want to bore you with all these prostate cancer guys. So if you know anyone, let us know. Kenny, go ahead.
The Ventura support group, Westlake Village, Thousand Oaks, is having a comedy night. I think it's either Saturday or Monday. I have to look on my calendar. And those are all myeloma patients in the comedy group. So I'll look at it and send the information to you.
Oh yeah, we'd love a myeloma. We'd love a myeloma patient or a couple of myeloma patients, and that'd be perfect. And of course,
I'll look at it.
Because everybody within 60 miles of LA thinks they're a star, right?
I'm glad I'm 100 miles away.
That's why I chose 60, Sally.
I only have the royals here. We have the royalty here.
Damn right. And they're going to be on TV on Sunday and Monday, from what I understand.
yes.
That's right.
Oprah's going to interview them, apparently.
That's right.
Well, since Oprah lives next door to them, it doesn't matter.
Oh, is that it?
They're just going through their back gate.
Oh, I see.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
And Ellen DeGeneres and Rob Lowe, and
maybe
they all live here.
One of them. If one of them didn't Ellen DeGeneres have some sort of cancer?
Ellen DeGeneres? I don't know.
I thought
or
she
her
did.
partner.
Or a
Or
partner.
her partner, I think, had it.
I think it was her partner did.
Okay.
Had breast cancer.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, check on the, go to the website. Kenny, you're awful silent. You must know, can't you? What's your performance art, man? You got to have some sort of performance art.
I'm not sure I can talk about that in public.
Oh,
not sure.
guys.
Just not sure. Just
We
forum.
call him Kinky Kenny instead of Mighty Mike.
Oh, look who's smiling. Hi, Lydia.
Hi.
That's because you're a real rock, Kenny.
Oh my
Richard,
goodness.
what's your performing art, Richard? Can you talk about yours?
You know, before we get booted out of here, I do have a challenge for the group for next month. You know, we've talked about good things and things that trouble us, all of us individually. And, you know, my challenge to you and to myself is what's going to be different tomorrow? How do you get up tomorrow morning, put a smile on your face? I'm watching you. And decide what's going to be different. What's going to be different about you tomorrow so that you're not going to spend the day on the couch, or you're not going to spend the day looking sad out the window, or what have you. But we've got some real positive things to do. So that's my challenge. And next time we get together, I'm going to go around and ask, what did you do?
Next week or next month?
Next month, sorry.
So we have a month, Lydia.
Got a whole month to work on
I
tomorrow.
wish it was every week because this is fun and very therapeutic.
But we'll get there.
Lydia, I sent you a chat, so you can, if you need to contact me, I'd be happy to help you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and you have helped me a lot tonight. Thank you so much.
Lydia,
It was great seeing you,
did you
everybody.
hear the conversation earlier about the medical marijuana?
No, I think I came in after that.
Oh, well, Sally, maybe you could have a chat with her on that when you talk to her.
Yeah, just go ahead and email me. I put my email in the chat for you.
Okay. Thank you, Sally.
And I am a registered mentor for myeloma, but we have a lot of the same similar problems.
Okay, I see.
And Al, I know you were saying you're having problems getting, like, waking up and getting going in the morning. I had that for a while myself. And part of it, I wasn't sure it was part of the fatigue from CLL or what. And the way that, of course, right now this won't work because of COVID for us here anyway, but the way I did it is I just bit the bullet and I got a trainer so that I would make a date with a friend to meet me to do an exercise, like, you know, the gym when I felt safe going in the gym, or, you know, for a walk or a bike ride, whatever. So that someone else is, I know for me, if someone else is expecting me then I'll do it. Even if I'm exhausted, I'll do it. And then I would push myself for so long until I couldn't push myself anymore in the day. But in the morning, I thought I always had the most energy to get it done. Do you have stuff that you can do like that, or that you already, you told us last time that you had started doing all sorts of exercise, I thought.
Yeah, no, well, I've been riding my bike, but then again, it's just one of those things. Like I said, I can't plan my day. I don't know how my day's going to be from right now till tomorrow.
Hey, Al, yeah, you do. If you make up your mind right now, before you go to bed tonight, that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and feel like $1,000,
Yeah,
you're going to ride that damn bike to New York City.
yeah. So have you ever been out on the ocean, like on a boat ride or fishing all day, and you get off that boat and you know, when you're walking from the boat back
Yeah.
to the car,
Yeah.
you're
Ooh, yep.
yeah, that's sometimes how my days are.
Yeah, I hear you.
And if I go for a bike ride, I get off my bike like that.
But you don't have to. That's the issue.
I mean, those are my symptoms. There's nothing I could do.
Yes, there is, sir. Yes, there is. But it's got to start in your head, in your heart, in your gut. You
It's-
I mean,
can't do it.
I feel a lot better. I'm doing a lot better than where I was last year.
Good. So think about where you're going to be tomorrow night. How much better you're going to feel tomorrow night.
Like Lydia said, this helps me a lot talking to you guys, seeing all you guys. You know, Kenny craps me up. This is very therapeutic. You know, I'm glad I came on. Thanks to Rick. Thank you, Rick. But yeah, this has helped me out a lot.
Good.
Well,
Thank-
you know, one thing we can always talk about, but we sort of just need to get our numbers up a little bit, which means that those of you who are here who have any sort of social following, you got to spread the word. Is you know, we're always willing to add a group so that we go to 2 a month. But
Kenny just posted it on Facebook. I just saw it.
Picture of this, of tonight.
Mhm.
Great.
An hour before the meeting started, he posted it.
yeah, but, you know, that's we've asked him before. We need him to post it earlier, but you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right, Sally? So,
I wish
but
I
we,
just
you know, we'd
had
love
knew
to.
somebody else here that had CLL.
Get our Canadian contingent up. Well, any of the Facebook social media groups, a lot of them will take down, don't allow you to post about group meetings, but some do. I mean, it can be via social media too, since this is virtual. So people could really be anywhere. And I know I had a bunch of people say they were coming, but they're not. And I feel badly in that Lynn was here and he left. He just had a bad connection. But I want to thank everyone for being here. This has been a very great discussion. I hope we didn't scare anyone off. And
Depends when they came in.
And Sally, thank you so much for sending Lydia your information. And Lydia, I know that Richard had, I don't know if he did get in touch with you, but he was trying to send you an email. Lydia, you're frozen, so I don't know if you're gone. But anyway, thank you
No,
all.
I'm not. I'm here.
Okay, and next month's meeting, hold on. I just want to see the date
2nd
is,
of April, I believe.
Richard,
Yes, ma'am.
oh my God.
I
April,
did answer your emails. You didn't get them?
I think I got one. I sent you another one today about this meeting tonight, just to remind you. But yeah,
Okay, good.
our next meeting is April 1st, April Fools.
Oh,
Oh,
and you have to
So,
wear your mask.
First, right,
Rick, I'll
correct.
try and get three
he
of
didn't
my.
say Halloween. He said April Fools.
we were
Rick,
masked.
I've got 4 patients that I'll try to get into the one on April 1st.
That would be lovely. We love them. We love them. You know, if
Michigan,
we,
Kansas, California, and Pennsylvania.
that would be great. You know, if we get the volume, we'll definitely add a meeting. Definitely. We'd love to. Let me tell you something. We started a meeting last month for a particular group. Doesn't matter what the group was. We thought there was a good demand. In a year, that meeting has gone from once a month to once a week with 30 people in each meeting.
Wow.
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 Yeah.
So we'll add the meetings if we've got the numbers, because when you've got more than about 10 to 15, it's too many. So the way we regulate it is by adding a meeting. Now, we've got problems in some of our meetings. We're meeting every week and we're getting more than 40 people. We don't know where to go. We don't know where to go. But we don't have that problem here, but we would love to increase the number of meetings, and we'll increase the number of moderators. And we create a rotation with the moderators, and we can do that. We've got people here that we would love to bring in and train as moderators, but we don't have the volume right now. Right, Michelle, you're muted. There you go.
So absolutely I don't know if it's fine for you to invite others to join us in the group. Yeah, I was just checking to see if for Al one last time, the PV advocate who was supposed to start joining us, she was all excited. And she didn't write back to the invitation. So I do know she was traveling, but I'm sad. I'm sorry, Al. That's twice
That's okay.
that she was going to join us. So third the charm, right?
Could be.
Everyone have a good month and good St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink too many things green. And if you do, make sure that you just haven't gone bad.
One thing, look at the agenda that I sent to everybody for the lymphoma conference that's this Saturday.
Thank
There's
you.
about, there's CLL, AML, MM, all blood cancer information.
Where did
And
you send it?
I sent it this morning, or I sent it the other day, and we went back and forth with it today with Rick
Oh, yeah, Sally,
and Kenny.
my
Yeah.
note to you that said, yeah, to definitely bring it up tonight. And if you could share.
You have to give me a presenter. I can't click on the screen until you make me a presenter.
Oh, right.
We can do that.
I can do that, right? Do you have
But you
the,
can do it in the chat, no?
No.
Nope.
Everybody?
No, we'll make Sally a presenter right now.
Oh, okay.
right?
There you go, Sally. You're up.
Hold on, let me get it back. I took it off for a minute. Okay,
Okay.
let me get it back.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Sally's added. Well, I've never seen my screen on this.
Okay. Yeah, Sally's now a presenter.
I know.
Woohoo. Do you get a special hat for that? I just always think of Michelle in her Wonder Woman costume. You haven't worn it to the meeting for a while, though.
No.
No, although I did my Wonder Woman boots last week on an important call. To make sure.
We haven't seen the Colonel tonight, and we haven't seen Gabby tonight. Where is everybody?
I know they abandoned us tonight. Gabby did come in at the beginning. I saw her tail in the background swish by, but I guess she didn't find us interesting tonight.
I see.
There was no food to lure her in, no treats.
My spaniel is hanging around my husband instead. She thinks CLL is boring.
What's your spaniel's name? Is it Daniel?
No, it's Molly. It's a
Molly.
she.
Molly,
So Sam, you can't figure out how to share the screen.
Can you see it?
Yes. Oh my God, you
there
did
you
it.
go. All right.
Now, how do we make a note of that? What do
So
I do?
there are all the different breakout sessions, and it's all, of course, virtual. But you've got ALL, CLL, all sorts of things, and then impact on cancer for the family and providing support for caregivers. CML,
So what is
more stuff.
what's the website?
Oh, the link.
I sent it in the email.
But everyone wouldn't have gotten the email. Is it on the
But I
bottom?
didn't get any email from you, Sally.
Yeah, Rick sent it to Rick or Kenny sent it to everybody. I saw it.
No. What I said was we'd already sent out the email, so we couldn't send out a second email on top of the first. But why don't you put the link in the chat window to sign up?
Okay, I can do that.
That would work. And then everybody can get that link in the chat window, and they can click on that link and it'll open up.
And it
There
also
it goes.
Right. It also had myeloproliferative neoplasms on there. Al, is one of those?
Who knows? Now, what we need to do, what you need to do, Sally, if you can, is copy the link where it says new registration. Just if you right click and copy link and post that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm
window.
doing it.
Okay, that'd be great.
I'm watching for it.
There
There
you
it
go.
is.
There, thank you,
Friendly.
Sally.
Thank you, Sally.
I'm going to be home by myself all weekend, so I can watch it all day.
Where's your old man going?
He's going to Northwestern Ontario
Oh, okay.
tomorrow morning, and I guess back Sunday night. So it'll be me and Molly for the weekend, so I can attend all kinds of webinars.
Okay. Well, so everybody, it's in the chat window. If you click on that link, you'll be able to register. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you all,
You're
and
welcome.
Thanks
see
to
you.
everybody.
Thank
And-
you so much, Sally. See you on April Fools.
Have a good
Yep.
month, everybody.
Have a
Yeah,
good month, everybody.
Night.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.